Lara Dale.
I apologize, I'm very sick. I'm speaking to the issue, President, council members, of the abysmal production that uPublic has presented with cable subscribers' funds. I'm surprised that you folks think it's acceptable. I'm surprised none of you have looked into it. The one thing I will say that uPublic has done very successfully is to keep both channels from airing any kind of meaningful local content. Almost everything is repeats or linked TV. When asked by the city council members at the last meeting why Brad Winter could no longer watch his son's games on TV, Rick Metz claimed it was due to lack of equipment. It's my understanding from documents from the city in an IP request that uPublic has already been given upwards of $300,000 worth of cable subscriber funds for that purpose. That's a lot of money for zero return. You folks are supposed to care about the dollars and cents. I'm not seeing any reaction about that. I'm not seeing anybody pay any attention to the fiscal aspects to the cable subscribers of where their funds are going. So I have some questions. Why was Rick Metz given cable subscriber funds to do a build-out on his own property on 3rd Street in direct violation of the City of Albuquerque's anti-donation clause? 2, why is the Cable Board, the sole legal authority for regulating the use of the $6 million a year IPEG fund, gone, and a self-appointed IPEG committee with serious conflicts of interest allowed to take their place? 3, why is Dave Matthews, who runs the Gov channel, allowed to sit on the IPEG committee and make decisions which directly impact his competitors? 4, why was the RFP process rigged so all the competitors except uPublic had to meet content requirements of 120 hours of local programming when uPublic only had to fulfill 54? And they still haven't met those requirements, by the way. Where's the equipment that was already approved, and why isn't it still enough to meet the nationwide content requirements, especially since quote-unquote was meeting or exceeding them? When do we get an open audit on the cable subscribers'
Your time is up.
funds?
Thank you. Councilor
I
Benton.
did have a question. You may or may not have the answer to this, but didn't when quote-unquote was operating the channels and in Cantata TV, there was sports being broadcast? At least I used to see high school football games and so forth. You must have.
Quote-unquote, actually, I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
Well, I guess my question was, since they're saying, well, they don't have the equipment, you obviously had the equipment
When
at that time.
ProView first got going, they were kind of inadequately set up. They really had, the guy had a brilliant goal, and he really wanted to support the school system, but he didn't have the equipment. He couldn't meet much of any needs. Mm-hmm. So quote-unquote stepped in a considerable time ago, allocated a lot of energy, interns, time, and whatever, to creating a really fantastic program. And as the ProView gentleman said at the last meeting, they could do 24/7 on their channels. And I'm very curious with Brad Winter as to how he looks his son in the eye now, because he was the deciding vote on this. If he had voted in our favor, his son would still be able to watch his programs. If he'd voted in our favor, the school system would still be able to see their kids on TV. I don't really understand how you people look at yourselves in the mirror when you have really destroyed the community, the disabilities community with Nani, the sports community with these kids, all these interns. I don't get it, you guys. I know you're Republicans, but I think you have beating hearts. I think you have kids. I think you have people with disabilities in your families. I think you know people who are indigenous.
Laura, your time is up.
I don't understand.
Laura, thank you. Your time is up. Next speaker will be Eli Chavez, followed by Silvio Delangelo, followed by